Okay. So I invite you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And start to just bring your awareness into your body. We'll start here first. Doing a body scan starting at the top of your head and just noticing, bringing your attention and your awareness to your head first, noticing how your brow is sitting, how your tongue is resting in your mouth, if there's any tightness in your jaw, how your head is resting on your neck, moving down into shoulders, noticing how they're seated, rounding forward, pushing back. Moving down your spine, just simply taking inventory of how it's holding you up, how it's seated straight or arched slightly, without a need to change anything, just noticing. And moving your energy down around your waist, noticing if there's any tension in your stomach, gurgling, coffee digesting. Moving down into your pelvis, bringing your awareness to how your seat is connected to the floor or a chair. Moving down around your legs and your knees, noticing how they're folded. Bringing attention to your heels, your ankles, toes, fingertips. Noticing where every part of your body is touching another part. The heat exchange that lies here. And just taking a moment to notice as you move your awareness to different areas of your body, those areas essentially come alive. Our awareness and attention on something creates and breathes life into that place. And as we hold that thought, we're going to move our awareness out into the room around you with your eyes closed, just taking inventory of the room. In your mind's eye, noticing where the furniture sits. If there's books around you, where the windows are. If there's carpet or hardwood floor or concrete beneath your feet. Any lighting in the room, overhead or a lamp or even a candle. And notice how quickly your awareness can move from one thing to the next. And notice as you move your awareness to these different places, that the thing arises quickly. And then moving our awareness back into any sounds we might be able to hear. birds outside our window, any sort of air conditioning, a fan, a heater, someone walking in the next room, noise coming from outside, or maybe there's just silence and it's just my voice. And moving our awareness back into our breath, I invite you to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And do this a couple more times and just notice the space and the stillness between the inhale and the exhale. This brief moment of nothing. So as we notice all of these areas of moving our attention and noticing the stillness, there's one thing that is holding all of these sensations, and that is our awareness and our vessel of consciousness. And just taking a moment to feel what it feels like to be the vessel that allows these things to arise. Whether it's thoughts of the day, whether it's sensations in the body. And notice how we may identify ourselves to these things, these thoughts, these sensations. Just as we're able to move our attention to different feelings or visions, our attention moves just as quickly with thoughts throughout the day. And as our attention moves to those thoughts, it breathes life into them. And as we breathe life into those thoughts or experiences, we are creating them at the same time. And as we create them, there's this crossover point where we begin to identify ourselves with those thoughts or those feelings, adding a me or mine to it. And if you have any sort of experience or feeling that's coming up, that you started the morning with, that's happening in your life, and just begin to hold it in your awareness if you can. Almost like it's seated in front of you in a chair. And just notice this moment where we bring it to our awareness, and then we move to attach an identity to it. A me, an I, or a mine. And there's a crossover point between when it rises in our consciousness and when we identify with it. And the longer we are able to hold that experience in our mind, and start to get curious about who the I is, and who the me is, and who the mine is. That experience or thought can change and shift, either gain its potency or lose its potency. So we'll come back to this at another time, but we're going to move back into connecting our power centers in the body, and just notice, keeping this experience of where we place and move our awareness, how that thing breathes life into itself, just through our attention alone. So I invite you to focus on that point between your eyebrows, just slightly tucked into your skull, that third eye center. And imagine that that third eye center simply projects a horizon in front of itself. A beautiful vista that simply allows information and life to fall into it. It holds life as it arises. It doesn't have the need to fix or push into anything. It's a vessel just holding consciousness, experiences, as they just rise up and then fall in. And taking a nice deep breath, thinking about breathing light and oxygen into that place in your forehead. Infusing it with your intention. And one more deep breath. And moving your awareness down into your heart center. Allowing that third eye energy to almost drop this silver cord down to connect to your heart. And imagine this heart center as a cavern. A cave of sorts. Notice the walls that might be in this cavern or cave. What arises in your creative imagination, in your creative awareness. And then we're going to use 3 breaths to inhale through our nose light and oxygen into our heart center, into this cavern. And then exhale. Imagine stoking the flame that is in the heart, the energy that pours from here, that feels and emits radiance. Inhaling through the nose, oxygen and light into this place. And exhale, fueling that flame, stoking it and nourishing it, allowing it to grow inside your chest. Inhaling through your nose. Light and oxygen into that place. And exhaling, allowing the flame to stoke. And just take a moment to continue to place your awareness here. Breathing life into the energy center. Noticing that it is still connected to the horizon of consciousness from your third eye. That we are able to allow life to arise around us without having to push or fix anything, just at the same time as we're able to feel from our heart and radiate from this place. And then imagining that same silver cord that's now connected from our third eye to our heart center to drop down to the pelvic bowl. And if you haven't imagined this before, imagine a golden bowl that just rests in your pelvis. Notice if it has a certain quality to it. Maybe it has a shine, maybe it looks a little dull. Maybe it has a century or a certain era that it looks like it might come from. And just place your attention here for a couple moments and think about polishing this area, this bowl. Sweeping out anything that looks like it might be dusty. Tending to this energy center. And just allow all of your energy to sink down here. Like it's being weighted and pulled down. This is our power center where we allow life to come to us. We don't have to push forward to accomplish things. From here, connected to this pelvic bowl, we allow truth to just simply arise and come to us. And just give yourself a couple moments to notice how it feels to relax into this space. And allow the feeling to come to you. Just relaxing yourself into it. And breathing a few times into this place. Breathing light and oxygen into that place where you can just sit back, almost in your throne, and just allow things to come to you. Inhaling light and oxygen into this place. Exhale as you allow yourself to get a little more comfortable each time. Inhaling light and oxygen into this place. And allow yourself to drop in and get even more comfortable. And notice how you can still be connected to the horizon of awareness in your third eye. The feeling center in your heart and the power that lies at your root. Noticing that you can be in all these places. And they cultivate and arise with your attention. Take a moment to notice any sensations that arise in your body as you connect these three places. Just holding the space. Coming into stillness. As thoughts arise, notice how they come quickly, and then just allow them to pass. Almost like each one that comes up, you say hello and then allow it to move on its way. But there will be a crossover when we decide to identify ourselves with something that comes later today, something we have to do, a challenge that we have to address. Just notice throughout the day how the I attaches itself to it. And then start to get curious about who that I is and spend time with that thing. And then remember that as we move our awareness to certain areas of our life, we create through our attention. So moving our attention down, back to that pelvic bowl. This will be something, a practice to do throughout the day, just noticing how we attach our attention to things and how we give life to them. So moving down into the pelvic bowl, we're going to drop a grounding cord now through the layers of the earth. Imagining almost like roots growing from your pelvic bowl down through the layers of the floorboard, through the layers of the planet, all the way until it wraps around the crystalline core center. And imagine that the energy that you cultivated in your third eye, your heart chakra, and your pelvic bowl are now deeply connected to the earth. Notice if you could feel a surge of energy moving through your body. And if you can't, that's okay. And allow the energy from that core center of the planet to move up. Back up that cord. Back through the layers, the energy centers. Filling up your body. And as it does this, we're going to start watching as the energy moves through the bottom of our feet. Moving through the cells, the spaces between the cells, around our knees, moving up our thighs, to our hips, around our waist, through our rib cage, shoulders, arms, elbows, wrists, fingertips, neck, head, until it pushes out through the top of our head and finishes with a golden sun. Finishes meaning that it moves into what will be a golden sun right above our head. And allow this golden sun to simply feed you throughout the day. It will rest right here, slowly dripping whatever it is that you need throughout the day today. As you'll be nourished from the earth and fed by the sun. And whatever it is that you may need today, go ahead and put that intention into this sun that's right above your head. Maybe it's laughter. Maybe it is direction. Maybe it's stillness. And allow that intention to infuse the sun and allow it to feed you throughout the day. You don't have to do anything, just notice that it's dripping into your body on repeat. And maybe there's an I am that goes in somewhere here. I am joy. I am light. That's infused into the sun, just dripping and feeding you throughout today. So when you're ready, go ahead and place one hand on your heart and bring your attention here. Giving gratitude for yourself for being in this place. Giving gratitude to the planet, to our group here for holding this energy. And I invite you to simply carry this with you throughout the rest of the day and notice how, as you move your attention to things, that they form life through your attention. They come alive just from your awareness. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room.